Those who speak for Wike must learn to recognize Rivers' values and respect for Rivers elders, factional APC spokesperson. Those who out of love or for a fee have to speak in defense of the FCT minister Nyesom Wike must learn the sacred tradition and culture of the Rivers people embedded in respect for elders. Such hirelings, according to aggrieved leaders, must respect and recognize the status of persons such as Ada George, one-time governor of Rivers State, believed to be the grand godfather of most leaders in the present dispensation from Peter Odili through to now. This call came on Friday, May 2nd, 2025 from the desk of Darlington Nwaojo, the factional spokesman of the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressive Congress APC. His faction, backed by the likes of Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi, former governor of Rivers State, is the faction recognized by the court, while the faction headed by Tony Okocha, regarded as Wike's strong pillar in the state, is recognized by the National Working Committee (NWC) of the ruling party at the center. Now, the court-recognized faction says in a statement issued in Port Harcourt that it is shocked about the called choreographed responses dished out to the public by agents hireling of the FCT minister in an alleged attempt to shield their master from the needless political crisis brought upon Rivers State owing to what the faction calls greed, vainglory, and outright narcissism. We find it distasteful, condemnable, and all collective insult on the sensibilities of all Rivers people to have people with zero reputation in their blood, who at all seasons, in order to feed their filthy lust, offer themselves to hirelings, to any available leader to push forward the weirdest political fairy tales. Characteristically, predictably, and in keeping with the strange culture of disrespect for elders and traditional rulers, two press statements were issued on April 10, 2025 by two vuvuzelas of the FCT minister, Larry Olayinka and Tony Okocha. In fact, this name really fits them, vuvuzelas, because they are always too loud, talk too much. Speaking to the defense of their paymaster, abandoning the core issues raised and regrettably casting aspersions. Yes, no matter what you say, like you are coming out to criticize these people, but they will come out and defend. Instead of them to talk about the issue, they will be defending. Defend, that's all they know. Like people under the influence of strong wine, on Ada George, the chief and former governor of Rivers State. The statement said, since the gentlemen earlier mentioned are known to the FCT minister, we are not surprised at the display of incivility and rascality dressed in falsehood. After all, they have both taken temporary shelter under the shadows of an unrepentant bully. Yes, everybody with their right mind will know that this man called Wike is a big bully. He's always bullying people. The culture of acting as a roughneck while addressing traditional rulers, leaders and peers, or mounting hallowed places like worship centers just to cause and mock people are all normal for their paymaster. Our concerns as a political party is to ensure we set the record straight and save the public, especially the younger generation of Rivers people, from the ceaseless deception, doublespeak and pretentious manipulation of a section of our people in order to achieve immediate or short-term political goals. Nwaojo said Rivers APC has studied both releases issued by individuals allegedly plagued by congenital reasoning diseases and wish to expose what is regarded as falsehood. Nwaojo said Olayinka now speaks for Wike after hanging around with Segun Oni and Ayo Fayose, saying there were issues of credibility with him, at least from the hints from someone such as the younger brother of Ayo Fayose, who knew him from close quarters, as recently exposed in a viral video. Nwaojo said clearly a morally depraved, characterless individual with no virtues cannot address one of the fathers of our dear state without getting an appropriate response to reformat his brain. He said Olayinka lied in his statement. Olayinka is always lying. When he referred to what Olayinka said to us, record of his involvement in the activities of the Bush Boys are well documented in the report of the 2008 Justice Kayode Esho-led Rivers State Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which heard accusations that he, Ada George, sponsored the Bush Boys and September 2001 violence. The APC functional spokesman said, "We wish to challenge him and his paymaster to publish the Justice Kayode Esho report, even when we know they cannot, since it will expose their wicked lies. But for the sake of the unsuspecting public, we wish to state emphatically that the 571 pages report did not indict Ada George for the sponsorship of the Bush Boys, as maliciously claimed, To put it in proper context, no paragraph of the findings, recommendation of that report indicted Ada George, whose tenure as governor between January 2nd, 1992 to November 17, 1993 predates the jurisdiction of the Esho panel. Nwoju moved to the second report that aggrieved his functions, mentioning Tony Okocha, who he also said lied. He said Okocha did not speak the truth. That one na Agbalaya now. He's always lying too. When he said Rivers people cannot forget in a hurry the level of intercommunal crisis, with all the trappings of ethnic cleansing which were the hallmark of his Ada George government. Within the short time it lasted, continuing with his falsehood, Okocha said the only recorded achievements which the government of Ada George can be recorded and traced towards the numerous intercommunal conflicts and inter-ethnic violence across communities in the state, which he said was widely believed to be sponsored by the government. Why are they even bringing issues from 1992, 1993? And what has that got to do with this time? Why are they bringing issues from the past? It doesn't make any sense. Nwoju dissociated himself, their party, from what he called infertile and baseless statements, saying it was public knowledge that two court rulings, judgments, others have first dismantled the illegal caretaker committee and the purported congresses, referring to S.H. Apirioko's judgment of August 12, 2024 and Godswill Obomanu's ruling of December 20, 2024. It amounts to promotion of lawlessness and disrespect for the rule of law for any individual, groups, or organization to choose what court order to obey or disobey. Therefore, Rivers State APC never issued or endorsed any statement against Ada George. The functional APC urged the general public to discountenance such comments from Okocha, as they said it is the handwork of what he termed imposter wannabe and fifth columnists. To strengthen our position, however, on the false claims made by Tony Okocha, we wish to remind Rivers people and Nigerians that while this agent of the FCT minister has chosen to ignore the speck in his own eyes, we remind him and his congenitally defective memory, hey God, insults, of the human beings slaughtered at Omoko and other places, bombing of campaign venues, destruction of properties of political opponents, imprisonment of opponents, attack on media houses, reign of military decree in the guise of executive order etc. that took place under the watch of his paymaster. Our intervention is to ensure Rivers people are not deceived by the likes of Okocha and Olayinka because our state witnessed the worst form of dictatorship, yes, during their paymaster's tenure, yes, political crisis and bad governance with an opaque budgetary system for 8 years. All these are what Okocha and friends want Rivers people to easily forget because he has found a new role as a promoter and enabler of emergency rule, gained sophistry in conflict-preneurship and as a badge in factual policies, having fitted perfectly into the spoiler role. The genuine APC and his candidate in 2019, he now wants to switch into ghost mode of a deliverer for same platform he and his friends exchanged for cash since 2018. Can you imagine that? He said no matter how fast deceit, half-truths and outright lies travel, the truth must always catch up with it. We render our unreserved apology on behalf of Rivers APC to our former governor and elder statesman Ada George for the lies published against him and the failed attempt by hirelings to distort history. Listeners, over to you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you some other time. Bye.